Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hygge With It. Today I wanted to share with you the books that I really want to get to this winter. Some of these have been on my TBR for so long that they've been like screaming at me on my shelf, and I don't know why I've taken so long to read them. So I'm trying to make a concerted effort to pick these up. So let's get into it. So the first book I really want to read this winter is March by Geraldine Brooks. I just finished reading Little Women in the fall, and I read that so that I could read this. This won the Pulitzer, and it's essentially a retelling of Little Women, and it imagines what Mr. March was going through in the war while his Little Women were at home. And I've heard such wonderful things about it. It won the Pulitzer. I just need to read it, and I'm going to be reading it really soon. Another book I'd really like to get to soon that's been on my shelf forever is Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa See. And this is about two women who write little notes to each other on their fans, and they send them back and forth to each other, and they create this friendship, and they kind of pull each other through some really difficult times in a 19th century China. This is, I think, Lisa See's most popular book, and I've got a lot of Lisa See on my shelves now actually, and I'd really like to start here. And it's short, and that's really good. I've been struggling to read a lot lately, and so I feel like the shorter the book, the better right now. So yes, I really want to read this. I'd also really like to read The Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. Now, I've never read anything by Amor Towles yet, and this has had so much buzz. And the reason I want to read this in the winter is that this takes place on the very last night of 1937. And our main character, Katie, goes to this jazz club, and she meets someone by the name of Tinker Gray. They sit next to each other, and I think some sort of relationship develops, and there's apparently a lot of drama. And yeah, it sounds wonderful. It sounds right up my alley, and I want to read it like right after Christmas. I think would be a really good time, right before New Year starts. I don't know if that will actually happen, but I definitely like to read it in like January. Now, I've been dying to read this next one for months and months now. I was kindly sent this by Penguin Random House Canada, and it is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Now, this is not a short book. I think this is like, oh gosh, yeah, 650 something pages, so it's a bit of a beast. But I've heard that once you start reading this, it just engulfs you, and you're into this other fantasy world that you cannot escape from. You just want to stay there. So I'm really excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a very long time. So yeah, I feel like over the Christmas holidays, maybe I'd like to read this. I don't know how I'm going to read so many of these over the Christmas though. So we will see, but I'm excited for this. I would also really like to get to Amy Snow by Tracy Reese. Now, this has a little blurb on the front by Kathleen Grissom, who wrote The Kitchen House, which you know I love. And she said, a total delight, and she also said on the back, this charming character captured my heart, and her compelling adventure kept me turning the pages. And basically anything that Kathleen Grissom would suggest, I will totally read. And this follows a young girl who is actually abandoned and is found in the snow as an infant. She's found by a young heiress named Aurelia Venoet, and this happens in 1831. And they grow incredibly close. They grow so close that they're almost like sisters. And then Aurelia dies very young, and Amy is obviously just devastated. However, Aurelia leaves this letter to Amy, and it's a coded letter that hints of a secret Aurelia never revealed, and she has to go on this treasure hunt all over England to find out what that is. And that sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful, and mysterious and I'm sure really heartbreaking, and I mean, if Kathleen Grissom likes it, I know I will. I'd also really like to read The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Mary Ann Shaffer and Annie Barrows. I have been meaning to read this for a very long time. Everyone who's read it has seemed to love it. I think this is a novel written in letters back and forth between writer Juliet Ashton and one of the members of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. And it takes place in January 1946. And it's about Guernsey Island when the Germans come in and kind of take over and they're occupying Guernsey, and how this little society deals with that. It sounds wonderful, and it's another short one, so I know that I can fly through this, and it's gotten so much buzz, I just know I need to. Lastly, I think it's time for me to pick up Harry Potter again. Over the year, I've been listening to Harry Potter on audiobook, but I've been getting them from the library, and to get them from the library takes a really long time, and then you're not going to get through all of them because as you go on, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So the next one that I have to read is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is one of my favorites. And I just know that I wouldn't get through it on audio, so I think I'm just gonna pick it up myself. I miss this world. It's just such a comforting world, and I just want to be in it. So it's another one that I'd like to read at Christmas time, and yet I don't know how that's going to work exactly. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna dive into Harry Potter again. Do you guys read Harry Potter at Christmas time? There's something about Christmas time that makes me want to pick this up. So let me know what you think about these books. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on them. And let me know in the comments below what book you're most excited to read in the winter. And I hope this finds you well. I'll see you later. Bye!